Hello, this is your host, Esscrin. How are you today? I hope well. I'm well. Let's get to the video. Welcome to my first ever YouTube walkthrough guide. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and go over and check out my stream on Twitch. You get all the live updates and current news there. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stay up to date. So today I'm going to go over my Division 2 leveling / gear grinding do's and don'ts. Tip number 1. Don't skip ahead in progression in order to play with your friends. Try to find somebody at the same level and quests that you're currently doing to group up and progress together. The reason why I say this is there's several bugs that inhibit the progression of your storyline if you skip ahead improperly. Now, one thing I did find is that if you have a friend that is a low level and you want to get him jumped up to your current level real quick and gear him out, there are ways. And I'll go into detail on those a little bit later in the video. Once Ubisoft drops more patches, most of these bugs will be fixed. So as time goes on, do be aware that some progression bugs will no longer be an issue. But as for now, what you should do is play missions as they become available and enjoy the story and lore until you hit level 30, at which point progression bugs stop being a large issue. If you are interested in accessing in-game as fast as possible, you can join a friend with a higher gear score to get your own up faster. So what I mean by this is you can join a friend at level 1 right out the gate pretty much. You do the tutorial, you go join up on a friend, and they can take you to the very end game tier content. Run you through that end game tier content, level you up to level 30 really quick, skipping all your main quest lines. Now, this hinders your progression in a way of you're now at cap and you're going backwards and doing all your starting missions at end game. The benefits of this is all the XP and items are going to, all the XP is going to scale. Some items will, some will not. So, this can be beneficial to you. And for a second tip, so one of the top things to do currently is to save most of your side quests for your endgame progression. Due to the fact that the experience rewards are really minimal at low level and can benefit you later at endgame when you're having a hard time finding missions and events to do that gain a large amount of XP to help increase your leveling speed at that time. So what I did is I saved a lot of mine for the end. That means I started doing them when I was about level 22 and slowly knocked them out to help progress to 30. This helped me because each time you do a side quest, the side quests give about 33.3% of your total experience. So if you are level 1, you're only going to get a minimal amount of experience. But if you're level 20, you're going to get a larger amount of experience. So say you have a friend that is a level 30. You can increase the experience gains from side missions. So what I did is I saved up all my side missions till my mid-20s, and then I grouped up with a friend that was level 30 and had him run me through all the side missions. That way, since the group scaling works as such as that the highest level character in the group adjusts the lowest level character one level below theirs to auto balance them, giving them a better experience playing the game rather than being one shot all the time. They can actually stand up, fight some stuff, take some damage, and not die instantly. This is beneficial for us because we can utilize that to gear grind. When I say gear grind, what I mean by that is your friend that is level 30, while going around leveling you, he will get max level gear for your current level of progression. Alright, so our next tip is to not open all your yellow caches in control points. The reason why I say this is you want to save those till you're doing your rotation with side missions to get to level 30. The reason why is because those caches drop high level gear that scales to your level. Now, if you wait till you get to level 30, then before you do the capital, you go back, or the capital stronghold, you go back and do all your control points, because those will be taken back over in the invasion after you complete your last stage of the main quest line for the president. And when these chests reset, as far as we know, during the invasion phase of the story campaign, after you complete the capital mission, you should be able to re-loot these again and gather resources from them. Some rumors spread across the internet state that they reset every time a control point is taken over and you recapture it back, but I have yet to confirm this and find that that is true. After more testing, I will have an answer for you, and you're more than welcome to read my posts on Reddit, which will be linked in the info below. One thing to keep in mind about these rooms is that the weapon and gear caches, small chests, and the long gear box resets once every 24 hours, while the resource caches reset every 12. So do keep in mind that you won't always be able to re-loot the whole room. Also, as you are leveling, you should be picking up all SHD tech caches. These tech caches will help you get more skills and abilities as you level up and progress. So that's a nice segue. We'll move right on into skills, mods, and gear. You want to remember to mod your gear, guns, and skills as soon as you can, replacing them when you get new mods and skills. These mods are beneficial because they give slight increases to stats, which make it easier to take down targets or do more damage. Also, you want to watch out for certain skills which are a little buggy. There are a couple that are not quite working correctly and are being adjusted by the devs as we speak. These will be fixed over time, but if you're just starting out here first week of Division 2, then I would say your first skills you want to start out when leveling is your flame turret. The fire turret or flame turret is very utility oriented and stun locks your enemies. So while you're trying to level and you get run up on by a large group of NPCs, this can be helpful because you drop that down and they instantly have to start putting out the fire as soon as it starts blowing on them. This is an awesome way to get a couple seconds to headshot them down or reload your guns, heal up, and etc. Also, the second one is the Reinforcer Chem Launcher is very nice for healing and versatility of keeping yourself alive and your teammates. We also have the Fixer Drone. Fixer Drone is really nice for repairing yourself. You also can retap the ability key and send it to your allies while looking at them. This makes the gameplay a little bit easier when trying to help sustain your teammates. Another one that has been reviewed by a lot of players that is nice is the Reviver Hive. The Reviver Hive is a little bit buggy though and doesn't always revive you, but is very utility oriented and very useful. You can throw it on your allies and then tap the activation key again to revive them from full dead and even just knocked down. Alright, and our next tip is do your projects. Projects give mod blueprints, weapon blueprints, and gear blueprints. Well, some gear blueprints. Side missions also give those too. You want to make sure you get most of your blueprints as you can. But the biggest thing with the projects is the experience gains that you gain from them. They give a lot of experience. So you want to do those as soon as you can when they come available. So if you get stuck and you need that extra 20,000 experience, pop down, find one of those, knock them out, and you'll be all good to go. You'll also want to do the activities associated with any projects that you have currently active, and then you can skip the rest, even though you could use them for experience for leveling, but that's up to you. So our next tip is going to be centered around the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone, as you go through your level progression, I've found that it's beneficial to not do your Dark Zone exploratory missions, meaning wait till you get to level 30 and or World Tier 4. The reason why is there's a lot of free gear to be had in here. This means you can run around when doing these missions and there will be no players in the Dark Zone. So if there's any special Easter eggs or items you're looking for, you want to go explore the map, get to know it, learn the ins and outs, this is the best time to really get a bearing on the maps, because you won't have players and you won't have NPCs unless you're doing the activities for your mission inside the Dark Zone. This change made me very happy that you could do it at endgame, because when I hit level 30, got into World Tier 1, I went and did this with some friends, and we were able to gear up to World Tier 2 very fast. Next is faction keys. So you'll get 5 different factions, or 6, I believe, in the game. I've only found 4 different faction keys. We have the Hyenas, the Outcasts, the True Sons, and the Black Tusks. You want to collect these keys and save them up for late game. The reason why I say this is because these keys, in most cases, give you parts for exotic weapon blueprints. So you want to make sure that you have keys on hand when you start farming for these exotics. Most videos have been posted, but some have not been out yet. But as the game goes on and the weeks progress, more and more exotic tutorial videos will be coming out. So keep these close to chest and don't waste them. Last but not least, I'll cover gearing up at endgame. So there are 2 ways to gear up at endgame currently. One is to advance through each world tier to World Tier 4. To do this, you will need to clear out the 2 missions and stronghold assigned to each faction's zones. Upon completing the stronghold, you will advance to the next world tier. Second way to do this is to have a friend boost you, meaning he takes you to his World Tier 4 phase and then runs you through missions, side quests, events, activities, bounties, anything he has available at that time, besides main missions. One thing that you have to be sure to do is to make sure that as a group you are dropping and trading armor as you find it. Finding it and picking up the armor and trading it to your friend who is a lower gear score will help them catch up to you quicker, making your gear grinding run a lot faster. So this leads us to the current grinding methods for going from 440-ish to 460 and even 475 gear ratings up until the release of World Tier 5. So to do this, what you need to do is get your world tier up to World Tier 4. Then you want to proceed to collect as much armor and weapons as you can. Save them all, all the doubles, all the duplicates, all of them. Because when you want to recalibrate this armor in order to upgrade it or add, change, or improve the gear stats to fit your playstyle, you're going to be wanting to look for a couple things. Certain attributes that you infuse or recalibrate into your gear will either just transfer the skill, attribute, or talent, or if you click the right ones or you find the right combination, they could increase your gear score level up to 15 gear score points. So what this means is if you have a gear score of 450, you can jump your gear score up to 465 very quickly. The only downside is that we cannot confirm that this is doable with weapons, only with your armor. But this is still beneficial because once you get your gear score up past 150 and you're pushing 165 due to your armor, your caches that you get for completing your experience bar cap or leveling up your experience bar will give you items appropriate to your current gear score. So say your current gear score is 459 due to all the parts. Then you're going to get 450. You'll get 459, 460, and 461 possible items out of the box. Sometimes you'll get lucky and it'll crit and give you a little bit higher of an item rating. So what you'll want to do is then collect all these items again, collect enough of them from your caches in order to recalibrate your full set of gear up again. At this time, you'll recalibrate from 460 to 475. This is a great jump because as far as we know currently, this should be the hard cap for progression. But with further testing, we'll find out if we can break past that. So stay tuned and we'll get to the bottom of these gear grinding methods. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. This is the end. I have other tips and tricks that are a little bit more diverse and change on a daily basis. So if you feel like you need a little bit help or a extra hand, feel free to come by my stream or go to my Reddit post and read that. My links will be posted in the info below. So have a great weekend and week. I hope you enjoyed Division 2 as much as I have so far. And I hope to see you in the Dark Zone. Until next time, I'm your host, Esscrin, and I'm signing off.